Hey everyone, Tom here. This week, I thought for the vlog, it is a perfect time to tell you about a once in a lifetime trip. I know they're all once in a lifetime trip that I won to get to meet and play soccer with the one and only Alex Morgan. Alex Morgan is famous for playing on the U.S. women's national team. She's played on numerous women's soccer team, most recently San Diego. This past Sunday was her final match. She walked off the field for the final time and into retirement. Her little girl was there. She's expecting another one. And I have to tell you that Alex Morgan has been one of my favorite players. She is my favorite player of all time for the U.S. women's national team. Someone who I've followed throughout her career, well before I won this trip. So to say I was excited about this trip when I found out about it is an understatement. Now, this was back in 2015. So many of you haven't heard this story, and so I figured I'd share the trip, how I won it, the details, etc., and some photos on the trip. So hopefully you enjoy it. In 2015, Coke was doing their Share a Coke promotion. A lot of you remember that you had to get the different bottles and said share a Coke with so-and-so. They had various different promotions, and a lot of them in connection with different athletes. That year, I had actually won two of their Share a Coke promotions, this one being one of them. The year before, I had won a different promotion with Coke. So I actually had three trips with Coke, all in a matter of a few months. In fact, the judging agency, the travel agent who handles it, booked my travel for all three trips. And some of them I met the same representatives, which was odd and interesting. But these were big national promotions. So like the odds of winning these were just slim, especially multiple of them. But luck was on my side. I ended up winning these. This one in particular, you had to find a Coke bottle that said share a Coke with Alex or share a Coke with Morgan. And there was an alternate method of entry, and I don't remember the exact details, but one day I was getting ready to leave to go someplace, and I stopped at Circle K to grab a drink, and I opened the cooler, and I see share a Coke with Alex, share a Coke with Morgan. So I buy both bottles. I thought it was really coincidence that they happened to be literally sitting right next to each other. I'm pretty sure it was a one-time entry, but I don't remember. So I enter, obviously, find out I win. A few weeks or so later, and the details were very vague. It was basically go have a training session with Alex Morgan. It was a trip, but there was no dates or when or where because obviously she's busy. She's got a busy schedule. The U.S. women had just finished winning the FIFA World Cup that year. So again, this is 2015. And she was getting ready to potentially get traded to Orlando. Orlando Pride was starting soccer that coming year because her husband played for Orlando City. So that deal was already well into the works, which we found out on the trip. It was later announced, maybe a month or so after that. I think it was a month or two, it was made permanent that was official. But Coke calls us up finally, when they're ready to do the promotion and said, hey, this is what you won. However, we thought you might like to see a match. The U.S. women's team's going on their victory tour, playing a bunch of international friendlies, and they happen to be playing a match in Alabama. You don't have to go, but if you'd like to go, we'll fly you to Alabama. You can see a match, and then we need to get you to Atlanta the next day. So we said, yeah, absolutely. No problem at all. So Coke flies us to Atlanta, or I'm sorry, to Alabama, where we go to see a match. Let me share my screen, show you some photos from it. So this was the match, and I'll be honest, I don't remember 100% who they were playing. It was another international team, but this was from our original seats. fantastic. They put us up in the team hotel, so we were staying in the same hotel the teams were, or the team, the US team. So we saw a lot of players walking around or outside the hotel. A representative from Coke came to our seats and said, "Hey, we have some extra seats up in the suite." Now, this stadium, I don't remember again exactly where it was, but the suites weren't your typical suites. It was more like group suites. So we went up there. We had some food and whatnot, um, drinks, all that 9 yards. In fact, here's a photo that was taken up in the suites during the match. After the match is over, we are going to drive to Atlanta. Now, Coke actually was wonderful. They offered to have a driver drive us. We said, no, it's fine. We'll drive ourselves. We'll get a car and whatnot. So he said, well, we'll write you a check for the amount that it would have cost us to get you to Atlanta, and therefore that will cover your rental car, gas, et cetera, which it more than did. So we do that. We go check into, I want to say they put us in the W Hotel in Atlanta. Really nice hotel in a great area that we can walk to a bunch of things. And the next day, we get picked up by a driver and we go pick up Alex. And it's early in the morning. I mean, it was like 7:30 or so, I remember, in the morning. In fact, one of the pictures you'll see coming up is it's like the sun's still coming up. But here's a picture of me, and Alex. We basically got to kick the ball around with her, have a little training session, got to chat with her, do some photos, really just have a good time. Some of you may recognize this. This is actually the open fields at Georgia Tech. It was close by and they got permission to use them. And truthfully, it was kind of on the down low, because if people would have known, obviously people would have came out and wanted pictures and autographs with Alex, but just a couple random people kicking the ball around really didn't draw much attention. So, there were people running on the track and whatnot who, didn't even realize she was there. But some of the photos, we, like I said, kind of just got to kick the ball around with her. And here's a photo showing it was early morning. You can see some people out just running on the track and jogging and doing their own thing. But after the match, we went over to Coke headquarters, which is in Atlanta, for those who don't know. And on the way there, it was kind of funny. We're still chatting with Alex, and Alex says, "Hey, do you want to see my gold medal?" And she just she had happened, she was carrying it, and she handed it back to us, which obviously we wanted to get some photos of it. And then we went over to Coke headquarters. And when you're in Coke headquarters, let's see if I have this is kind of the entrance way. It's a gorgeous facility. And there's a cafeteria there, and we went over to the cafeteria, and that's where we were going to have something to eat and continue our conversation with Alex and the representatives from Coke. She had just came out with a children's book, and so I had Alex sign a couple. We had bought the children's books ahead of time and had her sign a couple copies for some friends of ours, their kids. And she was happy to oblige with that. The Coke ball that you saw us kicking around, actually, I have in a case sitting in my TV room. It's one of my favorite pieces that I have. And let's see, here's a picture of us. This was taken right inside Coke, their main headquarters, with Alex. And I actually have the other photo hanging right above me in my office. I have various photos from a lot of the trips and celebrities that I've met, but I don't have this one autographed. So the goal is one day to get this autographed by Alex. And I was hoping when she played for Orlando to get it autographed. I was never able to. So in time, hopefully I will be able to get that autographed and put up in my office officially. But wonderful person, got to spend the day with her. And then the rest of the day we actually went exploring, went over to the Georgia Aquarium. We actually did Coke and the tour of Coke. I love the Georgia Aquarium. They have whale sharks, as you can see. They're the only place, um, I don't know, I think it's in the world that has whale sharks in captivity. But you can see a whale shark there. So just a just a really fun trip. It's definitely one of my favorites. I know I've been spoiled by going on a lot of really cool trips, but you know, she had a fan for life before that, but even, after that. And so I've, continued to follow her and her career, and um like many, was disappointed that she wasn't on the Olympic team this past summer. But she's definitely had her days, and her accolades over the course of her career. So congrats to Alex on retirement, and thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. If you want to win trips like this, make sure you check out iwincontest.com. You never know what you're going to win, and you definitely never know what's going to show up next. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.